A guy you saw at the showcase was Zeev Buium, a guy I know Minnesota Wild fans are hyped about. And you did the winners and losers of the draft for one of your stories. The Wild were one of the winners, especially from day one. Just what struck you the most about that pick, and what do you like about Zeev in terms of how he could fit?
I mean, I think Zeev's a star. Zeev was 4th on my list, obviously. So I believe that whatever they got him with 13, 12. Yeah, that he was one of the picks of the draft, frankly. Zeev is arguably the best player. Last year was arguably the best player, best defenseman I've ever watched at that age at the college hockey level. He was better than the Hughes brothers. He was better than Owen Power. He was better than Zach Werenski, Charlie McAvoy, Seth Jones, you name it. Like, he had an all-time teenaged freshman year in college. He's extremely mobile. He's got sort of the defining quality of his game offensively is his sort of shoulder fakes and head fakes. He makes a lot of guys miss. He sort of walks the line and beats guys off the line extremely, extremely well. And that was always a big part of his game at the program, but really found another level last year. And then beyond that, what really elevated him last year was his defensive play and his ability to lock guys up. He was unbelievable against BC and BU in the Frozen Four. I mean, you were there. He was outstanding. And locked up Macklin Celebrini, locked up that top line for BC with Will Smith, Gabe Perreault, and Ryan Leonard. Like, he just glued himself to those guys defensively with his footwork and made it so hard on them. And there's actually a little bit of Brock Faber that way, where Brock has always relied on his footwork. Now, Zeev at this age is way ahead of where Brock was in terms of offensive talent. They both have the skating. They're both about the same size. They both defend at a very high level. Brock was probably a little bit more polished defensively, but offensively, Zeev has another level, and I think will eventually bump Brock off of PP1 and become the PP1 guy for the Wild. So, like, I think he's got like 60. Like, I think we're talking like 60-point upside. Like, I think we're looking at a star player here if he continues on the path that he's been on over the last year.
Dang. And I mean, the Wild have been spoiled with Brock Faber, called a runner-up. Don't tell them that, but he came in and set pretty wild expectations for a first-year defenseman. And granted, he did that off his junior year. What do you expect for Zeev Buium's timeline? Like, is he going to play one more year, come out this spring, and off to the races? Or when do you expect him to actually grab an NHL spot?
No, I think that's the timeline you're looking at. I think he goes back for his sophomore year. He signs and turns pro in the spring. He's immediately in the Minnesota Wild lineup. I don't know whether he'll play big minutes right away. Oftentimes when those guys get in for the last 5 or 10 games of the year, they get eased in a little bit. And I think that's probably the right play for him. But he's going to be the number 1 D for USA at the World Juniors. They've got the rare opportunity to go back-to-back. USA has never won back-to-back golds at the World Juniors. I think they and Canada are the favorites again this year. And so he's going to be the guy there. He could be the tournament MVP at the World Juniors if things break right for him. He's going to play 30 minutes there. He's going to play 30 minutes at Denver under an excellent coach who is coincidentally his coach for the World Junior team, and David Carl. And then I expect him to come out and play, and if not be an impact guy right away, then I wouldn't be surprised if he's an impact guy in 2025, 2026 as sort of his first full season and in the Rookie of the Year conversation. And that, like, I think that's the caliber of player that we're talking about.